Hi, today's good person to know is Debbie Huxton. She's a personal leadership coach and founder of Be a Business Success. Debbie works with business owners throughout the UK to change their lives. An A&E nurse whose job was to help others, she was neglecting herself, comfort eating to make herself feel better. Debbie almost suffered from a near family tragedy, and that was her point of no return. She now has changed her life around and assists others to help them change theirs. Debbie has devised a 5-step plan called Emergency Response for Living. A, to accept, B, to be in the pain, C, to be compassionate, D, to do something different, and E for emotional drivers. So if you feel like life is getting a bit too much for you and not able to deal with it on your own, then you really do need to speak to someone. Debbie's written a book called Little Book of Big Wisdom, which is available on Amazon, and is just more in depth of what you're going to get in this video. So hopefully it triggers something for you to make you want to get some help too. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.
People tend to come to me because they're at a point of no return where they recognise that they're not feeling very fulfilled in their living, they're making poor decisions, and their emotional well-being is really distracting them from living a good life. We're really, as human beings, we're really clever at hiding that and distracting ourselves from it. And you know, right now we've got a whole nation of people that are suffering in some way, suffering with past experiences, holding on to baggage, and right now they're using lots of tools to distract themselves, alcohol, medication, you name it. I meet so many people that can relate to what I've just said. People have a point of no return. So for example, you know, my own story was I walked into my son's bedroom one day and found him unconscious on the bed, having tried to take his own life. That was my turning point, because at that stage I was busy working mom, working as an A&E nurse. I was overweight, overstressed, overworked, working hard to buy stuff that I thought was relevant for my family, but I'd taken my eye off the ball. And I don't tell you that story blasé. That was my turning point, because at that stage I weighed 16 stone and I was promoting health, and I was distracting myself with food. You know, food became my source of comfort. Food was a tool that I used to make myself feel happy, because I was distracting myself from the reality that I'd got myself stuck in a rut of working hard to buy stuff, earning money, and actually not feeling very happy about it. And what lots of us tend to do in that distraction is we're not aligned to our values. So the very core drivers within us we've totally ignored. So one of my top core drivers is family. And working long hours, I'm not with my family. And in that moment of realisation that I'm not feeling great about myself, you slip into autopilot, and lots of people are just simply sleepwalking through life. The reality is it's painful to go there. When you've got something to deal with, it's painful. So I teach people a 5-step plan. I call it my emergency response for living. You need to accept exactly where you are right now. And I'm going to tell you something really radical. Shit happens, life happens, and you can't stop it. And when you've overcome one challenge, there's going to be another one. And the reality is that most of us hope that once we've overcome a challenge, we're not going to face anymore. If you can accept that you will always have challenges in your life, life becomes a lot easier to live. B for be in the pain. And this is one that people look at me and go, be in the pain? Yes. You need to experience that. You need to be in that moment, be in that pain, absorb what is happening around you so that you can learn lessons from that experience and apply them in the future. The third one is C, and this one is so vitally important. And I think that if we as a nation were able to apply this to ourselves a little bit more often, we might have very different things going on in our emotional well-being. And that's C for compassion. Have compassion with yourself. Stop beating yourself up for the challenges that you're having in your life right now, or the challenges or experiences you've had in the past. Living with regret serves no purpose. It doesn't help you move forward. It doesn't help you feel better. If you want to get out of that rut, you need to be compassionate with yourself. The reality of this is we are so good at being kind to other people. You know, if we saw somebody have an accident now, we'd rush over, we'd help them. Well, most of us would. But we're cruel to ourselves. So you need to have compassion with yourself. I like this one because it stirs a lot of excitement in the audience, because they start shuffling around their seats thinking, am I doing this? It's D. D for do something different. You've had a challenge and you've overcome it, but you get the challenge again and you don't overcome it. and the challenge keeps happening, clearly you're doing the same thing. And I think there's a saying out there, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to keep on getting what you've always got. And the reality is that most people don't change. After they've had a challenge, they don't change anything about their experience. They ignore it, they move on, and they go into the same patterns, stuck in a rut. And so you need to do something different. You need to get yourself a mentor or a coach or a good friend who's a sounding board to be able to experience life a little bit differently and apply the lessons that you've learned from that challenge. And the final one, which is really, really important, is E. E for your emotional driver. Get in touch with yourself and find out more about what it is that drives you to live the life that you're currently living. And if there's something that you really want to do in life, find out what is that driver that's going to allow you to ignite the passion within yourself to be able to go out and really live the life that you want and do what it is that you really want to do. Because right now I meet so many people that have got ideas of what they'd like to do with their lives, but they're not doing it because they're living in fear, they're stuck in a rut. And so if you can get really connected to your emotional driver, your core values, and find out what are those things that are really driving you to live life, then you'll have more of a chance of aligning yourself with the things that you want to do and going out there and being courageous and vulnerable enough to take that risk. For anybody that's trying to do a presentation, or they're trying to do something that's very important to them right now, and they've got a little bit of anxiety or fear about it, then the first thing they need to do is they need to get clear on why they're doing it. Your why, knowing why you're doing something, why are you doing that presentation, what's the outcome, what is it that you really want from this, knowing why you want to make a change in your life. Your why is your rocket fuel for success. Your why is the whole thing that will open up that passion, that will ignite you a little bit further, coupled with your emotional drivers, your core values. It will illuminate everything that you're doing, and that fear will never go away. You know, I do a lot of public speaking across the UK, and I go out and I have different sized audiences, and I get nervous every single time because I want to do a good job, but then I have to take myself back to the why. Why am I doing this? And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to help people change their lives. You know, I've changed my life based on my experiences, and now I want to be able to empower other people to go out there and change their life through using my wisdom, if you like.